Surendra sir will take first class and second you can continue.
Okay, sir. Good evening, everybody. I'm welcoming all to our evening's program. Surendra sir will take the class forward. Welcoming Surendra sir to take the floor.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcoming you all to the elite homeopathic lectures. I think you would have received the message through Anup Kumar how Mr. Herring was sent for to write a book on homeopathy negatively and to see that it is a useless medicine. And at that time, they have been trying to arrest Dr. Samuel Hahnemann. So he went to Germany. Then the allopaths had chosen Dr. Herring, who is an allopath, to write a big essay on homeopathy, how bad it is and how dangerous it is, etc. etc. Luckily, truth will prevail. Luckily alone, truth will always prevail, not only luckily, truth will always prevail. So unlike us and unlike politicians, he has gone into the subject and want to pick out the criticism words. Slowly, he encountered about the gangrene and other condition. He knows about that because he is a physician. He was able to give homeopathic potentate medicines and gangrene was cured. Gangrene was cured. So he became ardent homeopath. Dr. Herring has a lot of books, etc. All right. Let us not criticize homeopathy because we know about homeopathy very well. Okay. That's all in the verb. For every yes, there will be a no. Yes. Today's subject I want to say about some observations. One Mr. Dr. Seagal, the Indian homeopath, he had an innovative approach to case taking. So he has termed it as Seagal method of case taking, which purely concentrates or focuses on the understanding of the patient, his expressions, emotions, everyday language, or his colloquial language or habitual language, which the doctor, homeopath should understand. For sensation, key stimulum is understanding patient's sensation or core experience. See the distinction. Patient's sensation or core experience. What is his experience? How he has been suffering. Every person's experience of the life through a unique lens, that is A physician has to see it through a lens, and the subject experience can guide the homeopath to the appropriate remedy. That is, one method is of selecting similar means, understanding the patient sensation or experience. Second is emotional. Listening carefully to the patient emotional language. Oh, it is horrible. When pain comes, it is very horrible. The expressions, the emotions. He encouraged homeopathy to pay attention to the patient, how he describes not only his sensations but also his feelings, and focusing solely on the physical symptom. Horrible physical symptom. Pain, I cannot hold it. I cannot bear it. Even after holding my chest with my palm, I am not able to get consolation. So sensation, physical symptom. This is called emotional. Then comes the levels of it. There are different levels of experience within the patient, that is from different patients, ranging from most superficial to the deepest core sensation. See, all walks of life, people involved, all walks of life, affluent, middle-aged, most experienced person, most learned person, and very poor person with of no knowledge. So these are the levels. So these people, how do they express their experiences as a patient? Ranging from most superficial to the deepest core sensation. By exploring these levels through questioning and observations, the homeopathic physician can uncover the underlying pattern of the patient illness. Some will be there, we used to say that, much about nothing. A patient will have not much problem after going to protracted symptoms, but he expresses in such a situation, such a language, that even physician is disturbed. So the physician should observe all these things. Underlining pattern of the patient illness and select appropriate remedy. One is merely sensation. Second is emotional. Then levels of experience. Then another language is simple language. Using simple and everyday language, communication of his experience by the patient. He believed that this approach helped the patient's expressions themselves more freely and accurately. That is, expressing in simple language is a very, very clear indication of patient indicating his problem. He believed that this approach helped the patient express themselves more freely and accurately. These two words are important. More freely and accurately, leading to a clear understanding of the problems of the patient. Then comes step process. First step is understand the patient language and expression. Second step is identifying the sensation and the corresponding level of experience. Third step is selecting the remedy, matching the patient's sensation and the defect. Contribution. What is the contribution by the physician? Deeper understanding of the emotional aspects lead to homeopathic prescribing. This method has been embraced by many homeopaths around the world and has led to the development of various tools and resources for case taking and remedy selection. I have been telling you the language used by the Hahnemann period, Herring period, Kench period is different from the language that we are now following or adopting. Particularly region to region, India. Even in India, Calcutta, Maharashtra, Kerala, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Delhi, Haryana, Madhya Pradesh, Chennai, language differs, expression differs. Supposing I am coming from Delhi, I am taking the patient case for the first time. I have been in a difficult position. Or you are gone to the foreign country as a tourist. Some problem is arising to you. You go to the physician, expression, their language, their understanding, and our communication. So these all the things called the important things to bring out the modality, sensations, deep acting concerns, mind, including mind symptoms, etc. etc. So, the physician contribute to all these things and take a very good decision. These are the various tools and resources for case taking and remedy of selection, thereby cure is very, very imminent. So, Shiga's approach emphasizes importance of understanding the patient's subjective symptoms, experience, using simple languages, dialect language to uncover core sensation. Method continues to be studied and applied by homeopaths seeking more holistic and patient-centered approach. Patient-centered approach. That is, what is his core problem? What is his center problem? Whether it is chronic, or quick chronic condition or deep-rooted condition. Understand? Different conditions that we know, whether he has got any miasmatic base. Of course, at the very first sittings we cannot conclude that it is a miasmatic basis unless 2 or 3 sittings are there, because the more we can uncover the diseases, the more the internal remedies exhibit. They become mirror to the physician. So he can now understand it's deep-rooted problem, and then he can help us. We can help him to the cure. Okay. Simple thing is, there are 3 types of problems. Persons who spoil their health by taking too much medication or alcohol. They require simply Naxwamika. If they take too much beef, yellows, socortinas, If they take too much tobacco, they require arsenicum, caladium. These things will try to regain their vitality. Then patient's advice makes him to forget all these toxic conditions being practiced by him. That is, he will not go to the taking of beer or tobacco or etc. etc. So these are simple antidotes. What are they? Naxwamika, aloes, arsenicum, caladium, etc. See, this is how homeopathy has been simplified. Simplified. Supposing there are more problems along with this habitat, no doubt you have to give these medicine. First you must understand how you palliate the patient. Then only you go to this. So for some time you must give some rope for the patient. Then put a clock. Then put a check. And ensure that he doesn't go wrong. He doesn't go. There are many helping institutions throughout the India and throughout the world. They all go there, get themselves cured. But whatever the cure has affected, their only advice is don't go back to tobacco. Don't go back to alcohol. If you go back to the alcohol or tobacco, our medicines will become spoiled. You become very much bad. Your health will become bad. So this is how the physicians who relieve these people from the clutches of bad habits, so that they will not do these mistakes or problems to the families again and again. This is another. I get another good topic, mind and its gestures. Of course, I will take some simple medicine and I will leave it to Mr. Anup Kumar because I cannot encourage on his time. Though 10 minutes have been started lately, I will contribute myself for that. All right. I will give you a short note on Gelsemium. Gelsemium, because Gelsemium you are going to pay winter session. September, October, November, you are going to reach it. That's why I said. Acts upon muscles, motor nerves, causing aching, tiredness, heaviness, and weakness. When winter falls, all these problems will come. Aching, tiredness, you become tired because body becomes heavy, etc. You become dizzy, drowsiness, dullness, weakness, and thirstlessness. Fear of stage. Gelsemium patient fear for doctors and dentists. Fear of stage. Of course, children automatically, whenever they go to the physician, when they see the stethoscopes hanging at the neck of the physician, they immediately cry because the physician may put them injection. You see, there was a doctor, J.T. Thomas, in Panchamti in Chennai. I took my second daughter there for primary complex. He used to import foreign needles. The children doesn't feel the pain at all. Even we who are there could not notice whether the physician has put the injection to the patient or not. So one of the innovative methods. Bad effects of fright. For Gelsium patient, exciting news causes problem, bad news causes disturbance, it may cause them fright, and sometimes they may have diarrhea. Some people immediately rush to the toilet. When some death or other accident they see, immediately they go to the toilet. Or sometimes they'll try to have a vomiting sensation, like that. Because mind immediately acts on. Heavy drooping of eyelids, dim-sighted, twitching of muscles of the eye, bad feeling and occipital headache, trembling and weakness of all the limbs. Of course, it's a concomitant to the first symptom, acts upon muscles and nervous system. Drowsiness in influenza, because when winter sets in, mostly you get the symptom of influenza and the other mosquito bites and other things. Even UK or foreign countries are no exception to this nowadays. Everywhere, world over. Drowsiness and influenza, etc., etc. Cause Gelsium helps us. Thank you for patient hearing.
Thank you, sir.
I hand it over to Anup.
Thank you, sir. So, in continuation to what you said, mosquitoes and weather and all, I'll be talking about dengue fever today.
Yes.
So, dengue is like it is all over now. So, let me show the presentation on dengue today. So, dengue fever, severe dengue, that is, first is dengue is a mild fever which can go by itself, and severe dengue is the secondary dengue fever, which is much more dangerous. It is also called dengue hemorrhagic fever. This study is a detailed one which will tell us about dengue, about its how to prevent it and how to handle it in a homeopathic manner. Somebody's mic is on, please switch it on. So the key facts of dengue. Dengue is like, even though it is written as dengue, it is the right pronunciation is dengue or dengue. It's a viral infection transmitted to humans through mosquito bite, and about half of the world's population is now at the risk of dengue. With an estimated 100 million to 400 million infections occurring every year. Dengue is found in tropical and subtropical climates worldwide, mostly in urban and semi-urban areas. While many dengue infections are asymptomatic, there is no symptoms. You won't know whether it is a dengue or not, or produce only mild illness. Viruses can occasionally cause more severe cases and even death. So we have heard about a lot of dengue death also. Prevention and control of dengue depends on the vector control. So vector is the mosquito. If you control the mosquito, we can prevent it. So there is no specific treatment for dengue, severe dengue. And early detection and access of proper medical care greatly lowers the fatality rate of severe dengue. So, because of the expressions of dengue, it's called break bone fever, because your bones will be feeling like it's breaking. The pain will be so bad on the bones and joints and all. So, it's called break bone fever. Dengue, in some of the language, maybe it's meaning break bone fever. It's a viral infection that spreads through mosquitoes to human beings. It is most common in tropical and subtropical climates. Most people who get dengue will not have symptoms, but those who do, the most common symptoms are high fever, headache, body aches, nausea, rashes. Most will get better in 1 or 2 weeks. Some people develop severe dengue and will need hospitalization. Somebody's mic is on. Yeah. whose mic is on, please switch it off, please. Somebody's discussion is being heard through, please switch off the mic.
Suresh, put off your mic.
So, this in severe cases of dengue, it can be fatal. So, when there is the case is bad, of dengue fever is bad, it can be fatal. We can lower the risk of dengue by avoiding mosquito bites, especially during days, because this mosquito bites during the daytime. And dengue is usually treated with pain medicines, painkillers, because body will be so much, body pain will be there. And instead of treating for the virus, there is no specific treatment for virus. So doctors usually prescribe body pain relieving medicines, and like paracetamol and all. So most people, the symptoms are, most people with dengue have mild or no symptoms and will get better in a week or two. Rarely, dengue can be severe and can lead to death. If symptoms occur, they usually begin in 4 to 10 days after the infection and last to 2 to 7 days. Symptoms may include high fever, that is 40 degrees or 104 degrees F. So higher 104 degrees is high fever, and with difficult or rapid breathing will be difficult, irritability, restlessness, and severe headache will be there, severe stomach pain will be there, pain behind the eyes, muscles and joints will be paining, nausea, vomiting, swollen glands, and rashes will be there all over the body. So there will be red spots all over the body. Individuals who are infected for the second time have a greater risk of getting severe dengue, which is the next stage of dengue. So basically, on the picture, if you see, we have headache, we have muscle pain, joint pains will be there, brain breaking pains will be there. Then you have eye pain behind the eyes or eye, and you have nausea, vomiting, and the skin rashes will be there all over the body. So this is the picture diagram for dengue fever. So severe dengue is the symptom often come after the fever is gone away. So once the fever is over, then you feel that the symptoms are not over. You will have severe abdominal pain, persisting vomiting, rapid breathing, bleeding gums or nose, bleeding under the skin, which might look like bruising, and there will be fatigue. So after the fever is over, and you will have skin bleeding under the skin, and blisters and bleeding under the skin will be there. There will be small patches of bleeding, blood clots under the skin. You have spots, rashes all over. Then under the eyes you have red marks. Eyes can be red in color. So these are the symptoms of severe dengue. So restlessness will be there. There will be vomiting blood in the urine or stools. There will be blood, and being very thirsty, pale and cold skin, feeling very weak. People with these symptoms should get care right away. You should go to the hospital right away. We cannot wait, because this is a symptom of the advanced stage of dengue fever. After recovery, people may have had dengue, may feel tired. After recovery of normal dengue, people may feel tired for several weeks, because the whole system would have gone into problems. We will discuss the problem through the discussion now. It will be much more easier and understandable. So there is no specific treatment for dengue. The focus is on treatment of pain symptoms. In most cases, dengue fever can be treated at home by pain medicines. Acetaminophen, that is paracetamol, is often used for controlling pain, and you should not give non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs because it, like aspirin and ibuprofen, because it will create unnecessary bleeding risk. So people with severe dengue, hospitalization is often needed, because they cannot be handled at home because of the conditions and their problems. Transmission is through mosquito bite. Dengue virus is transmitted to humans through bites of female mosquito, primarily Aedes aegypti. We will see the picture of Aedes aegypti. Other species with Aedes genus, the same Aedes. There are Aedes aegypti, there are other Aedes also. So they also can be vectors, but their contribution is normally secondary, because Aedes aegypti is the primary one, and that is the one which is spreading this disease all over the world. However, in 2023, a surge of local transmission of dengue by Aedes albopictus, that is tiger mosquito, has been seen in Europe. So this is a different Aedes, even though we will not feel much difference by first view. Maybe the scientific name is different because of their very minor differences. So Aedes albopictus is also found as the vector for dengue. Otherwise, Aedes aegypti is the most common vector. So this is Aedes aegypti, which we have seen. It is a very small mosquito when compared to mosquitoes what we see in Chennai and other places, like the Culex and Anopheles mosquitoes, which spread malaria and filaria, which is common always, and they come in the evening and night. But this mosquito, Aedes aegypti, will be living in our rooms. They like to live in only good water, not drinking water type of water, not dirty water. So this will be multiplying in potable drinking water, stored or accumulated in our homes for certain reasons, and they will be there attacking insects, and they will be attacking us during the daytime. So this is Aedes aegypti, and this is Aedes albopictus. So by looks, both are similar to us, and because both have black and white spots, and legs have black and white spots, but still we cannot make much difference out of it. So after feeding on an infected person, the virus replicates in the mosquito's midgut before disseminating into secondary tissues. So first it will be multiplying in the midgut, the middle intestine of the mosquitoes, and then from there it will go into the other parts of the body, including salivary glands. So once it is going to salivary glands only, it will be able to spread it out to others. The time it takes from ingesting the virus to actual transmission to the new host is termed as the extrinsic incubation period, EIP, extrinsic incubation period, because this is the time when the virus multiplies from inside the mosquito stomach and will be ready to infect other person. The EIP takes 8 to 12 days when an ambient temperature is between 25 to 28 degrees centigrade. So once infectious, the mosquito can transmit virus throughout its rest of the life. So once it is a carrier, it can be a spreader throughout its life. Mosquitoes can become infected by people who are viremic. Viremic means he's having a lot of this virus inside in the blood with dengue virus. So if the person has dengue virus already in the system and he is being bitten by Aedes aegypti, definitely the mosquito will become infected. This can be someone who is symptomatic dengue infection, who has symptomatic dengue infection. That means a patient who is already suffering from dengue can be the source of the infection, or someone who is yet to have symptoms of infection, symptomatic infection. So that means he's a silent person, he's not a symptomatic person, and still he becomes a potential source for viral infection for the mosquitoes. And it will be somebody who is already having the virus, but it is not shown. So if he's a viremic person, he is a sure source of supply of virus to the Aedes aegypti. So human to mosquito transmission can occur up to 2 days before someone shows symptoms of illness. So after a mosquito bites, infected mosquito bites a person, it will take 2 days for the person to show signs of infection like fever, and after the fever is 2 days after the fever is resolved, only sometimes the symptoms will show. Risk of mosquito infection is positive. Risk of mosquito infection is positively associated with high viremia and high fever in the patient. Conversely, high levels of dengue virus specific antibodies are associated with the decreased risk of mosquito infection. Most people are viremic for about 4 to 5 days, but the viremia can last up to 12 days also. So even after the virus is gone, there can be virus donor provided, but they will not have symptoms. But even after 12 days also, their virus levels can be high in the body. The primary maternal transmission, that is, the primary mode of transmission of dengue virus between humans involves mosquito. Like from one human to another human, mosquito is required to carry. But there are instances where, however, possibility of maternal transmission. That is, mother is infected, so the baby inside her womb also can get virus. At the same time, the vertical transmission rates appear low, with the risk of vertical transmission seeming linked to the timing of dengue infection during the pregnancy. So, not always will the baby inside get the dengue fever. It depends on the maturity, the time period of the pregnancy and infection. So, when a pregnant mother contracts dengue infection, the baby may suffer preterm birth, or low weight and fetal distress also can be the symptoms once the baby inside the womb gets infected. So rare cases of transmission via blood products. Sometimes they will be giving blood without even knowing what is happening in our system. So blood donation can infect another person with dengue virus. So similarly, trans-ovarian transmission of virus with mosquitoes has also been recorded. So an infected mosquito, when it lays eggs, the virus will be in its eggs also, and after the eggs are hatching, the virus will be inside the newly hatched mosquitoes also. So trans-ovarian transmission of dengue virus is also known. So it is not easy to protect the virus from entering the mosquito. So prevention and control. The mosquitoes that spread dengue are active during the day. Lower risk of getting dengue by protecting yourself from mosquito bites by using clothes that cover as much as of your body as possible. So wear fully covered clothes. Mosquito nets if sleeping during the day, especially like during the day. When night, maybe these mosquitoes won't be active. And ideally, if you spray insect repellent on the nets and then sleep, it will be better because mosquitoes won't come even near the net. Then window screens with mosquito nets, mosquito repellents and coils and vaporizers can be used when you sleep. So mosquito breeding can be prevented by preventing mosquitoes from accessing the egg-laying habitats by the environmental management and modification. So any water stored unwantedly openly can be either sprayed or emptied, and disposing of solid waste properly and removing artificial man-made habitats which can hold water. So any small vessels and small coconut shells or tires or used tires and thrown things and all will hold water, and that will be a breeding center for mosquitoes. So you have to be very careful not to have all those things in your surroundings. Covering, emptying and cleaning domestic water storage containers on a weekly basis. Applying appropriate insecticides to outdoor water storage containers. So when you do all these extra care, you can prevent mosquito breeding. If you get dengue, it is important to take rest. Take plenty of liquids. Use paracetamol for pain. Avoid non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs like ibuprofen and aspirin. Watch for severe dengue symptoms and contact your doctor as soon as possible if you notice any of severe dengue symptoms. So, vaccination. So far, only one vaccine has been found, and that's called Qdenga, which is approved and licensed in some countries. However, it is recommended only for ages between 6 to 16 years in high transmission settings. Otherwise, it is not recommended. Several additional vaccines are under evaluation now. Now, I will discuss this dengue in a little more better manner by using the methods of Dr. Richard Mata. Richard Mata is a Filipino pediatrician, and he made a very simple explanation to dengue, and he was explaining the actual dengue infection to his patients, bystanders, who were very anxious to know what is happening. So And also he wanted them to understand and to allow them to help the other people not to get infected. According to him, the viral infection causes two types of complications which lead to death of the patient. So he says dengue is nothing to worry about it, but it is, if it is infected, you have to manage it. And he has made a simple formula of how to handle it. And the complications will lead to death of the patient. The first complication is severe loss of blood plasma. That is blood plasma or water. The first complication is severe loss of blood plasma, water from the blood, which leads to kidney failure and intestinal bleeding. So when water is lost, it ends up in intestinal bleeding, and dehydration will end up in intestinal bleeding. Next is heavy loss of platelets cells from the blood along with the plasma. So when plasma is lost, the platelets also is lost along with it. So there is a the platelet loss also. Blood without platelets will not clot and will make the patient bleed to death from the ulcers inside the intestine and kidneys. So this is the simple thing. He has made it to two things. Like one is water loss, one is plasma platelet loss. And plasma loss will cause bleeding because platelets also is lost and the clotting cannot be formed, and the patient has kidney failure or intestine bleeding ulcers. This is the special doctor, Dr. Matta, Richard Matta, and he wrote on a small piece of paper and showed them how to do that. There was a small video. I can't present the video here, so I just picked up the information from there. So he explained the whole process on a piece of paper to the relatives and the patients to help them to understand the actual problems and solutions to bring back the patient back to normalcy. On a paper he wrote just to explain to them. They say like, think that the fever started on Sunday, and that he wrote Sunday on the paper. Then he wrote Sunday plus 6 days. That is from Sunday and plus 6 days. That is Sunday plus 6 days will end up to Saturday to mark the end of the complication. So 7 days, within 7 days the whole complication will be over. According to him, he described dengue fever like a clear plastic bag or a normal carry bag, normal plastic bag. You fill water in it, and the bag has lots of tiny holes in it. So what will happen? All the water will start flowing out of the bag, and the water level will fall down. So the water will start seeping out, and the water level falls. He meant to compare the clear plastic bag to our body blood vessels, and water as the blood plasma. With dengue virus infection, all the blood vessels will develop thousands of tiny holes, and our plasma flows out of the holes, creating severe dehydration of the blood. Along with the plasma, tiny platelets too fall out out of the blood vessels. So actually, the platelets is falling into the body only, not going outside the body, but it is falling outside the blood vessels. So we don't have platelets in the blood. The blood will be devoid of platelets and will not be having clotting capacity. So severe dehydration causes intestine to develop ulcers, which will start bleeding. Since there is no platelets, the blood will not clot, and there will be serious blood loss. Dehydration will also lead to kidney failure and shock, complicating the case, which can end up in the patient's death. So simple as explained by him. It is very simple. The reasons are now known to us. So he explains that any injury to our body, maybe a cut or a wound or something, it will take 5 to 6 days to heal normally. The same way, the holes in the blood blood vessels too will heal up in 5 to 6 days and will disappear by itself in 6 days, and the viral activity will reduce by that. So in 5 to 6 days, the viral activity will reduce. All the holes which has been formed inside the blood on the outside of the blood vessels will also heal up by 5 to 6 days. Then the platelets will not fall further. Multiplication of normal platelets will be inside the system, and the count will start climbing back to normal, taking a U-turn from the 6th day. From up to 6th day, it will keep on falling, and after that it will go backwards, taking a U-turn. That is why he wrote as Sunday plus 6 days. That is Saturday for the patients to start recovering. So do we know how the patient is dehydrated? So how do we know the patient is dehydrated? If the patient is passing clear urine at least 4 times in 4 hours gap, at least for once 4 hours gap. So if he is passing urine at least once in 4 hours gap, if not earlier, when the patient is properly hydrated, and he will survive the dengue fever. So if the gap is more than that, there is a reason to be concerned, and to give him more water. Same way, if the urine color is not clear, transparent, it is dark yellow or orange or red, it is sign of a very bad dehydration. So there is bleeding inside. That's the meaning of that. So even if the clear plastic bag is full of micro holes and water flows out rapidly, if we can pour more water in and maintain the water level, the bag will not collapse. This is the case of our blood vessels too. If there is enough water in the body, the body will not allow ulcer formation in the intestine, and there will be no internal bleeding. So he is correlating both. If you water the body properly, there will not be ulcer formation, and there will not be bleeding, and there will not be death. So he therefore concludes that dengue is a dehydration disease and can be managed well if we ensure that the patient does not get dehydrated. The fall and rise of platelets is natural and will be harmless to life if there is no dehydration and the internal bleeding and no internal bleeding. Dr. Mata explains a drawing on a paper that dengue causes perforation to form blood vessels, causing fluids to seep out. The symptoms of the patient with diarrhea. The symptoms of the patient with diarrhea are same with those of dengue patient. He says that there is no two disease. There are only two diseases in which the patient is still will not be energetic and playful even after the fever subsides. That is dengue and diarrhea. Both have once the disease is gone, the patient will be still tired and sick because they are dehydrated. The reason both leads to dehydration and leading into complication due to it. This is the paper which we were talking about. He said Sunday plus 6 days. So say fever started on a Sunday plus 6 days, that is Saturday. So he took a plastic bag and filled water and which had a lot of holes in it. So the water level comes down because water flows out of it. He says the blood vessel also will have thousands of small holes, and through which water, that is plasma, will be lost and dehydration happens. And when the holes will disappear in 6 days, till that water will keep on flowing into the body. And along with that, we can see platelet loss also, which will be which is the reason why we have the blood platelet levels falling down. Platelets steadily fall with dengue. That is from 150,000, it falls to 90,000, then 60,000, 45,000, like that, until 6th day, whatever level it is, it will be falling, and from there it will start catching up again, like 45,000, 60,000, it will climb to 90,000 and 150,000 to wherever it came. It will get back in 6 or 7 days, it will be back. So his picture was, he has drawn it like that. Then he says the dehydration causes ulcers in the intestine and start bleeding. Platelets will being low, the blood will not clot and then can lead to death. This will not happen if there is no dehydration. He says dengue is a dehydration disease, and if the patient urinates clear urine every 4 hours minimum, he will survive. And for that, we have to keep him dehydrated, a lot of liquids to drink, like ORS or water. So the best thing what he says is, like, to keep the bag full, we have to keep on pouring more water in the bag, so that water loss may be there, but the water of the bag will maintain the shape. So this is the simple paper and the explanation whatever Dr. Richard Mata gave, to make other patients understand that handling dengue is not difficult, provided the patient is fed with lot of liquids, water, so that his blood vessels will not lose water and will not form ulcers. So now we will talk about homeopathic approaches, how to treat dengue fever with homeopathy. Belladonna, it is a high-grade fever treatment. Belladonna always is associated with hot, red skin, flushed face, throbbing carotids, restless sleep, dryness of mouth, throat, aversion to water. Belladonna acts upon every part of the nervous system, producing active congestion, furious excitement, perverted special senses and pains, head pain, throbbing type, which is relieved by hard pressure or tight bandage. Heat, redness, throbbing and burning is all through, and there is anxiety or fear of high-grade fever. perspiration on the head, and no thirst with fever. So this is belladonna symptom. So we can treat these symptoms with belladonna. Now is bryonia alba, a fever with the body ache, aching of every muscle, a pain in stitching and tearing, which is worse by motion, better by rest. Mucous membranes are dry. Bryonia, dry feeling, so mucous membranes are dry. And patient is irritable during fever. Vertigo will be there from raising with headache, dry lips and mouth with excessive thirst, bitter taste during fever, pain and swelling of joints, pulse full and hard tense, quick, dry cough and stitching pain in the chest, easy and profuse perspiration. So epitorium perf, severe pain in the bones and restlessness, aching pain in the back and bones of extremities, which is with soreness of flesh, aching in the arms and wrist, throbbing headache with pain in the eyeball. Respiration leaves all symptoms except headache, and chill between 7 to 9 a.m. Proceeds by thirst with great soreness, nausea, vomiting of bile at close to chill or hot stage, and swelling of left great toe. So this is some peculiar symptom: swelling of left great toe, epitorium perf, bone pain, epitorium perf. Baptisia tinctora, lower fever, septic conditions like blood, extreme conditions of the blood, septic conditions of the blood, extreme prostration, indescribable sickness, sick feeling, great muscular soreness, stiffness, drawing pain, aching pain in the arms and legs of all bones and of sacrum. Hips and legs feel sore, chillness, heat felt all over the body. So bacteria, bacteria, epitorium perf, and arsenic album is normally given for all those things. So we will come with that. So ferrum phos in the first stage of febrile condition, fever condition, in all inflammatory fever and catarrhal conditions before exudation sets in. Best suited for to nervous and sensitive persons. There is anemia with false plethora of violent local congestions and marked prostration during fever. So he will be tired and want to sleep all the time. Pulse will be soft, flowing with fever, and throbbing headache with vertigo relieved by cold application. So ferrum phos is for that. And gelsemium, which our Surendra sir just mentioned, fever with great prostration. Patient is so weak that he cannot move few steps. Dizziness, drowsiness, dullness, and trembling with fever. Slow and soft pulse with low blood pressure, with tired feeling, muscular weakness. There is lack of muscular coordination. Chillness up and down and back. Heat and sweat stages are long and exhausting. Violent headache and thirstlessness during fever. So this is what he also said, thirstlessness during fever. This stops. Fever with physical restlessness. Patient moves here and there and feels better for the time from changing positions. Rheumatic pains affect remarkably joints, tendons, sheaths, and aponeurosis, producing tearing pains and stiffness. Tongue is dry, red, cracked, and coated except red triangular tip. That is the peculiarity of Ristoph, red triangular tip. Intermittent chill with dry cough, restlessness. Chilly as if it is cold water were poured in on him, and followed by heat and inclination to stretch the limbs. So this is a Ristoph symptom. Moving and movement will make them feel better. So dengue with hemorrhagic fever. Dengue hemorrhagic fever, which is the next stage. Most people recover within a week or so. In some cases, symptoms worsen and can become life-threatening. This is called severe dengue or dengue hemorrhagic fever. This condition, the platelet counts going down at a steady, fast speed, resulting in bleeding through various body outlets. Arsenic album, which is always used along with all the treatment. Arsenic album will have high temperature and unquenchable thirst. Periodicity will be marked for fever, great exhaustion after slightest exertion, very irritable with weakness, burning pains which is relieved by external heat. All symptoms worsen at midnight. Great restlessness, mentally and physically will be tired. Then bloody saliva, unhealthy and easily bleeding gums. ulceration of mouth with dryness and burning heat, metallic bitter taste, even water taste, so also bitter, vomiting of blood, bile, green mucus, or brown black mixed with blood, nausea, retching and vomiting after eating or drinking, anxiety in the pit of the stomach. During urination, there is burning, blood in urine. After urinating, feeling weakness in the abdomen. So arsenic alum, it's a medicine for most of the viral treatment, and this is again for the severe dengue fever. Carica papaya is also given fever with constipation. And phosphorus is like it disorganizes the blood, causing fatty degeneration of the blood vessels and every tissue and organ of the body, and thus gives rise to hemorrhages. Fever with the chillness in every evening, fever with small quick pulse, profuse perspiration, hemorrhage from the nose, handkerchief is always bloody, and cold with bloody expectorations. Vanadium is its action is that of an oxygen carrier and a catalyzer. It increases amount of hemoglobin, also combines with oxygen with toxins and destroys their virulence. So vanadium is for giving more oxygen. Also increases and stimulates phagocytes. Phagocytes are our immune army men, where it will eat up all the viruses or whatever, including the body. Phagocytes. Fever fever will be long and continued. Anorexia and symptoms of gastrointestinal irritations will be there. Albumin cast and blood in urine. So there will be albumin and some cast and blood in urine. Cough will be dry and irritating, and paroxysmal sometimes with hemorrhages also. Crotalus is another poison which is familiar to us. The Lachesis is one, and this is Crotalus. Crotalus is general disorganization of the blood, which results in the hemorrhages of dark color in the form of no clot, and that forms no clots. So they will Crotalus poison, this snake poison, the bush viper poison with this, and it will disorganize the blood. The same thing, blood will be disorganized here. Blood oozes from every orifice of the body, like ears, nose, rectum, urethra, mouth, etc. Vomiting of bloody, dark, black, thick, thin, offensive, like coffee grounds will be there. Cannot lie down on the right side. Intestinal hemorrhage and blood dark. These are all symptoms of hemorrhagic fever, and fluids and non-coagulable. So they do not clot. Blood oozes from the rectum, which is dark, bloody urine in dark color. Cough with bloody expectorations. Fever with bloody sweat. Purpura hemorrhagica. That is the clot marks everywhere. Hemorrhage from every part of the body results in bloody sweat and septicemia with low septic state. So this is total very serious condition, and at this stage also this Crotalus will work. Next is ipecacuanha. The fever slightest chill with much heat and persistent nausea, vomiting and breathlessness. Fever relapses after every improper diet. So it comes back again and again. Then hemamanis, we know, it's a top-rated remedy for managing bleeding from any orifice of the body. It is indicated to manage bleeding under the skin from the nose, gums, rectum, and the blood in urine or in vomitus. There is excessive exhaustion. In China, this remedy is important to manage the profuse bleeding along with marked exhaustion. Debility and most prostration and hemorrhages is the main indication, and China is very important for treating patients who had been long hospitalized or who had lost a lot of body fluid. So China works very well as a post-treatment. So dengue shock syndrome. The severe dengue happens when the blood vessels become damaged and leaky, and the number of platelets on the red stream drops. This can lead to shock and internal bleeding, organ failure, and even death. Dengue shock syndrome is a life-threatening condition during hospitalization, which is requiring hospitalization without wasting any valuable time and crucial life-saving time. So this is all. Thank you all for your patient listening and attention. And I think with this information we can have some managing methods and tricks and techniques for handling this dengue at home. And we have a fair knowledge about dengue now. Thank you all. Hope it was useful.
Very good lecture.
Thank you, sir. Very nice lecture.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Very good information.
Thank you, sir. Mukesh sir?
Thank you, sir. Is my voice audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Namaste, my dear homeopaths.
Namaste.
Thank you, Anup Kumar sir. You have given an excellent paper and very important drugs you have covered.
Thank you, sir.
Any doubts in this, please ask now. Because he has given nearly 16 to 17 medicines.
Sir, can we take coconut water? I understand that also helps.
Any form of liquid is important. The main thing is you should keep yourself hydrated in the form of ORS or coconut water or anything. But these days I am little skeptical about coconut water. The people who grow coconut are not ethical. They use all the insecticides and all into by root feeding, not
All
by spraying.
chemicals they are using, unnecessary chemicals.
Yeah, so if it's from a known source from your home and all, give it without any doubt. So otherwise, normal water, very purified water, and this ORS solutions are available. Or simply thing is, take a glass of like a big glass of water, add a spoon of sugar, and then little salt, and then keep drinking it. Any other questions anybody wants? I can ask.
Any
Actually,
liquid,
this papaya leaf, they used to just you take the essence, you take with water.
Yeah.
When the platelet loss is there, normally this is nowadays they are suggesting natural.
That is only a viewpoint, and papaya can help or not help. That is, it's a wound healing method. But when you have seen that in the paper, Dr. Macha saying even if you treat or don't treat, the 6th day you will be okay. So papaya or no papaya, your platelets will come down after 6 days. But you should keep on drinking water. Papaya leaves won't harm you. Papaya leaves won't harm you. You can have papaya leaves or any other medicines also, but keep drinking water.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
madam, after completing the
To avoid
course,
dehydration.
To avoid dehydration. Only to avoid dehydration, your system will recoup back, and it will not end up in severe dengue if you handle it in the right stage itself. When you have fever, forcefully drink water. Now make the patient drink water.
Sir, should we monitor platelet count also?
Not necessary. It will fall and come back.
No.
If you monitor, you will feel anxious. So best is to keep on hydrating yourself and make sure you are not slipping into the deep version of the dengue.
When the platelets go down, how to take care?
When the platelets go down, it will come back by itself. When the dehydration stops, it will come back. And
After 6 days.
you need not worry about platelet counts, because when your platelet count is below what is required, it will start, internal bleeding will start, and you will have all the complications. So you keep on drinking water in the leisure time, so that your intestines won't have ulcers.
Okay.
Don't worry about it too much, because when you worry about it too much, you will forget about drinking water.
Okay.
Most of the patients
Yeah, it will
do not
improve.
like to
Drink water.
take water because they don't feel that taking water is not palatable. But you have to compulsorily take it.
So you can give
Lukewarm
them,
water is better, always better.
yeah, you can
Lukewarm water.
You can give them any other liquids which they like also, but in whichever form. But liquid has to go inside. Otherwise, they will be admitted to the hospital and drip has to be given.
Okay.
Madam Parvati madam,
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
after completing the course, you can give alfalfa mother tincture and carica papaya mother tincture.
Oh.
You can give for minimum 1 week to 10 days. So
Okay.
relapse of the fevers or reducing or increasing of platelets will not be there. So our medicines, alfalfa mother tincture and carica papaya mother tincture is also available. That both we can give.
Oh.
Then whenever a person is somewhat lethargic and unable to do so many things and previously overactive, So that person's also give alfalfa and carica papaya every month or 5 to 6 days.
Oh,
And I think in North India they will use carica papaya as for cooking some chutney, pachadi or some poriyal like that.
oh.
We will eat only fruits, but in North they will eat raw also.
Actually, one of my colleagues, when he fell sick, my another friend was telling and she did it also. That's why he was asking. She was just cutting the leaves and taking the juice of it and giving. That's right.
In
Now this information is automatically after 6th day it will start raising. It may not give any additional care. That's something. Whatever PSI only I noticed this.
Everybody uses the papaya thing because it was also a hearsay thing, and it is not harmful because this papaya leaf is used for treatment for injuries and wounds and all those things. It can help, but even if you don't have access to papaya, you need not feel anxious and worried. It will go by itself, provided you drink water and your body will not have ulcers developed or kidney failure developed or shock developed because of dehydration.
In
So,
Chennai,
according to
near
Dr.
beach,
Mata, it is a dehydration disease, not a viral disease is caused by, virus is causing dehydration, and then dehydration is causing other diseases, other complications.
The object of taking water or papaya water or coconut water is only to ensure that the body is rejuvenated with strength.
Yeah.
Because
Yes.
you cannot take any other food,
yes,
hot food or even liquid food, even milk you cannot at that time.
Yeah.
So it is better these fluids will see you are running out of fluids to replenish. You are taking all these alternative methods of fluids. That's all. The object is only that.
Same way for
In
diarrhea.
whichever area, whatever is suggested, that can be taken. No problem.
Correct. For diarrhea and our this thing, we will be dehydrated immediately, and when we have loose motion, so the water will be lost very badly, and patients die because of dehydration. Same thing will happen here also. So whatever we do for dehydration is we give ORS solution. So same ORS can be given here. The electrolytes, whatever is being packed in sachets, we can pour more water and give them continuously. The patient will not slip into any other complication.
Particularly children and above 60 years, they will become dehydrated very quickly because of the affection.
And also the dehydration, the symptom of dehydration, we told, no, the urination is not frequent enough. As normal people, then there is dehydration, and if the urine color is changing into red or brown or something, dark yellow, then you are dehydrated.
Sir, Giloy will help. Giloy.
Will help anything. It's not going to stop anything. Actually speaking, he said no. There is no treatment required. Only water, liquid. If you become properly rehydrated, then everything will fall back in 7 days.
Okay.
Your fever will go. Virus may be there, but you will not be complicated. Because for virus there is no treatment. No. We have one vaccine is developed now. Same for for COVID also we have vaccine only. There is no external medicines.
so
That-
nearly
Yeah,
so.
it was informative lecture. Just to tell you that I had this dengue fever in the year 2010 in Delhi.
Oh.
So at that time my platelet level went so low, it was around 10,000 only. So I was unfortunately I was to given the platelet also. But one thing which I noticed during that time, that papaya leaves suddenly it's the platelet levels started improving. So just I want to tell that helped me a lot. So
No, everybody feels that, and I also believe that. But the thing is, this doctor specifically, he had been working on a lot of patients in Philippines, and he found that even if you give papaya or no papaya, with the 6th day, your body will start recouping because the platelets are continuously produced in the system, and when the holes are plugged, then the platelets will not fall off the back.
Yes, sir.
So when the blood vessels are all closed, then whatever platelets are developed in your body will rise. The number will not rise. So if it is timed properly, if your papaya leaf is going inside your mouth and the platelets are rising, then you will feel papaya brought the platelet back.
Yeah, maybe that is that. Achha, one thing
Naturally, when it's going very much low, everybody will be afraid to
Yeah.
avoid further. There may be the reason that time they would have taken it strictly. Both would have worked together and it might automatically.
There is no harm in following the whatever our traditional methods are there, but the thing is why this lecture is to tell you not to feel anxious and worried.
Yeah.
The system will take care of it properly, provided you don't go to dehydration.
Right. Good information.
You can have electrol.
Yeah.
Electrol are readily available.
Yeah.
You mix it with lukewarm water,
Yeah.
or with the lukewarm water, a small quantity of sugar and a pinch of salt.
Yeah,
That itself will give you equal to the electron.
that is correct.
You can safely take that water.
Homemade
it will be
ORS.
palatable.
Homemade
Somewhat
ORS.
palatable.
The homemade ORS solution.
Yes.